We need to know there are enemies of our hearts that are not physical. And if we leave these enemies of the heart untreated, they also take a toll on my life and on your life. And over time, if we're not checking in on the conditions of our heart, these enemies of the heart will slowly erode our heart's sensitivity. And over time, if we leave them untreated, these enemies of the heart have the potential to drive us into very self-destructive and relationship-wrecking patterns or behaviors. Every arena of life intersects with what's going on in our hearts. Everything passes through the heart on its way to wherever it happens to be going. In other words, he's saying as your heart goes, so your life goes. In other words, as long as you think you can contribute something to repairing your heart, you can't be helped. But when you stop trying and you start trusting, when you transfer your trust from yourself to Jesus, you can be born again. You can experience a new birth. You can receive a brand new heart. God's concerned about the condition of our hearts. And so God says, guard your heart above all else, for it determines the course of your life. And what happens when we fail to guard our hearts is that when we neglect to check the condition of our hearts, that's when our lives begin to change directions. The course is changed, and usually when we change directions, when we change courses, it's not a good change. Jesus takes the mystery out of anger, and simply put, Jesus says the remedy for anger, he says it's forgiveness. And forgiveness is this decision that I'm going to cancel a debt. You don't owe me anymore. Now, the whole reason it's possible for you and me to forgive anyone is because we've been forgiven. It all begins with Jesus. The Apostle Paul said, forgive one another just as God through Christ has forgiven you. And when God forgives me and when God forgives you, God offers you and he offers me a brand new heart through Jesus. And when we come to Jesus, God says, I'll give you a brand new heart and I'll put a new spirit in you and I'll take out your old, stony, stubborn heart and I'll give you a tender, responsive heart.